What's up? All right, so this is Coach's Corner. All right, so now I'm gonna introduce people one by one today. All right, now this motherfucker left again. What the fuck? She in the building. What's up? The great, the GOAT. Steve. All right, I'm taking DM spot right now, and welcome back to the party,
hey,
Mr. DC.
What's up, guys?
Mr. Chamberlain.
Let's go. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. And
show for a couple months.
The man we all came here to see, the man we paid our tickets for, the star of the hour, Mr. Massey.
Oh, everybody back in the building.
Mad Massey, Mad Max. What's up?
Hold up, man. Trying to see if this shit works.
All right. All right, so while he fixing this stuff, man, how was everybody else, man, last 2 weeks?
Yo, she, I got it. I can't fix this shit. And he wants to go live so I can talk about it live. We're going to stay backstage.
He got some issues going on. Yeah, we gotta get worked out. You know what? Let's hold on. I got something for you. I got something for you. 1 second. My mother God. All right, Daniel. Let's talk about where you've been, Daniel, for the last 6 weeks. Sir.
As it's a really boring story. The Army sent me off to some training. Up in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, and the internet was terrible, and the work wasn't too much, but it was like I literally took a laptop and a computer and a light and tried to do some podcasting, and it was so bad. So I didn't want to come on here and be a spinning circle of death on your screen. So
speak of that shit, god damn. Got to be more careful. God damn. Damn. What is that? Damn, Daniel.
Damn, Daniel.
Man.
My shoes aren't white, but
so DM is having some technical difficulties right now. And in this world, if we don't go live by a certain time, we have to redo everything. So all the links and promotions that was sent out wouldn't have worked. So we got a certain number of time to go live. So hopefully he can get his stuff together, because I don't want to see a DM in the rage. Like I don't know. Like this feel like it's not gonna be good, man.
So you talked to your custom ring box creating guy. You got another box on the way, like so you can carry it.
It's already here. I got.
Come on, Daniel. What?
Like it's been 6 weeks since I've seen it. You know what I mean? Oh, look at it's got a light on it and everything.
That's motherfucker got a light in the box.
It's a lit box.
Yeah, it's a lit box. You know
thought maybe an empty box just to remind you that job's not done or whatever.
Nah. We don't do that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's what she said. Do
you think rings have gotten like out of control in their size and their ridiculousness?
Yeah, because that it weren't always that size. So last year's 2 years ago, this one is like ridiculous.
That's big too.
I was
listening to the Loud Outs podcast, which is some MLB players that talk about baseball, but they're talking about the Dodgers ring from a few years ago. Do you remember when you could take the top off of Dodger Stadium and reveal the stadium was built inside the what are we doing with rings these days?
Yeah, this one is like medium size.
There we go. How do you one up that? How do you one up a custom Dodger Stadium championship ring?
Yeah, this one is a small one. I think this is
small, medium, large, extra large. What minute are we going to?
You started this. I wasn't even gonna do it.
It's been a while since I've seen them all. I need motivation to get me through.
That's all right. I don't know what the fuck going on. So, all right. So let me put this. Let me just do this real quick because I'm trying to give this man a few seconds. So we went to Virginia Beach for the cheer competition, and this is what she did. This is what my daughter did down there, and she got 3 fucking rings.
In one weekend.
Yeah, she got 2 of them this weekend, but yeah, they won first place and everything, and then clean sweep this and got a paid bid to Florida, whatever that means. I don't know. This is our first year doing this, so don't ask me. I don't know. Yeah, man. Yeah, it was just me.
You just got back,
sir. Just got back.
Let's see if I can email myself some pictures, and then I'll show off my kids too. They're doing their ridiculous stuff. Hey, how far is Boston from you, Brandon?
So I used to work at FedEx, and we had to go get some trucks. That was an 8-hour ride.
Oh,
8-hour ride.
I'm presenting this weekend in Boston.
What? For what? Glacier?
I'm with the Gun T Clinic, but I'm going to be talking about my offense a little bit, like stuff. And then next weekend I'm in Milwaukee. Can you believe that? Isn't that crazy?
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. I just didn't know how far Boston was from.
Yeah, it's like I think it's
Baltimore.
like it took us 8 hours to get back, but I was doing 90 all the way down. So don't judge me.
That's all right. We won't judge you.
Yeah.
What we got cooking today, man?
All right. So while we still trying to buy time for DM to get right, I wanted to talk about something I seen. I didn't really look into it to get all the facts. So the base overall, they're trying to change the workforce laws for the children. They said the kids need to be able to work more. It's good for the economy. So they want kids as young as 14 to be able to work overnight jobs. A 14-year-old is a fucking ninth grader.
I saw this in like on Twitter, but it wasn't from a reputable source. So I didn't.
So they talked about it on the radio. They were talking about it on the radio, and I only came in on the end of the conversation, and I never looked it up because I was taking my break from social media. Yeah. But then she was. How is the ninth grader going to be able to work overnight and then go to school?
Yeah, that's crazy.
From what I saw, and I don't want this to be like I don't want to just jump into a bunch of politics, but it looked like it was for non-school attending immigrants. Is what I read. Now, once again, I didn't think any of it was from a reputable source, so who knows? Put my picture up there, Brandon. I can't make it go. Hey, that's my little man. He's 6. He had his first 4-wheeler wreck today. Let's go.
Nice.
My niece races 4-wheelers at 6 years old. She won a race this weekend, and I think she's came in like second and third the other 2 races. And he was gifted this 4-wheeler, and he put it on his side the first day.
Like Super Mario go-kart racing, like a little maze and all that stuff.
Like a dirt track. Yeah, she's out there on a 90cc 4-wheeler. Dude, she's ripping it up. It's crazy watching her ride. But she got on this one when she was like 4, and it wasn't enough, so they went up in size, and so now she races. It's the craziest thing.
That's good, man. Anything competitive is always good. Yeah,
so I'm trying to find out what my son's thing is. He's not into sports. He likes video games a ton. Luckily, there's like esports. He could go get a scholarship right now in esports, I feel like. But I'm trying to figure out what his thing's gonna be. He's gonna try soccer, and he's in jiu-jitsu right now. He doesn't love it, but no one loves jiu-jitsu, right? Like, it's really hard. So we're just trying to find what his thing is gonna be in life. So maybe it's racing 4-wheelers. If we can keep him on all 4 wheels.
Boom.
I just almost hit all the dirt bikes coming down the street just now. So I'm not a big fan of the dirt bikes.
I didn't know. So flashback 2017, my wife took me to Boston. And there's this random gang of stolen dirt bikes and quads that just run around Boston.
Mm.
They
Philly,
went by us, and then
Baltimore.
we had to
As soon as it
Google
get
it.
warm, as soon as it get warm outside.
Yeah, I Googled it, and it was like, oh yeah, everyone who has them gets stolen, and then these people just ride them around the streets, and the cops are busy but can't catch them or something.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
No, that's she rolling the paper.
I'll do the show from here.
Let's go. He's back.
Sir, don't laugh at him, sir. You know he's frustrated right now, sir. Don't make it no worse, sir. We're gonna be here to support him through his needs, sir. Okay. Sir. All right, so this is Coach's Corner, hosted by DM Football. Jeremy Mines, number one trainers training program in Jersey. All right. We got some great topics for y'all today. You know, DM is here with us. Okay, so just bear with us. All right, we got some stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna go through mine first, and then hopefully we get back on track. Okay, all right. And what was that? Okay, he's back again. Hold on, wait a second. Which one do I add? Do I take this one off and add this one? All right, so let's do this. Okay, because we're wasting a lot of time right now.
Was following me around after a game, and I was like, yo, what's up, man? And he didn't act like he didn't want to say what's up. I'm like, what's up? He said, Coach, man, you don't really like me. I said, what do you mean I don't really like you? He like, no, every time we play, y'all, man, you always saying, trap him, take it, he can't do this. I'm like, yeah, listen, man, honestly, I don't have nothing against you. He said, no, I think you do. I said, listen, if my sons, and I hope they not, was on the opposite team as me, I have to beat them. And not only do I want to beat them, I want to dominate them. And he looked at me like, that's crazy, Coach. I said, okay, what school you want to go to? He said, I like Duke. I said, okay, what if the head coach, John Shire, walked in here with all of these kids and said, I have one scholarship, and you get placed against your best friend who you came into this gym with, who you know since 2 years old? What are you going to do? Just let him go right by you and score? Then they check you off. Oh, he doesn't play D. Just let him grab offensive rebound? Oh, he doesn't play hard. Or are you going to try to lock him up, hit him in his chest? You don't have to hurt him, but play physical. When we step between those lines, there's no friends. After, we can have pizza, joke, laugh, but there's no friends between those lines.
All right, anybody wanna take this first?
Oh, I like to talk. So
Yeah, do your thing.
Tom Brady, circa 2023, I think he did an interview where he talked about there's no friends on the outside, right? It's just the guys in the locker room, and that's it. And you can't have friends anywhere else. Where he was even circa falsely creating animosity, falsely creating pressure. I love that interview. I go back and watch that interview all the time because it was super good. I can't remember the guy he did it with. I'll tell you at some point. I'll have to Google it. But he would even make up scenarios where they talk shit in against him, even if they didn't, so that he could go out and just beat people bad, right? Like if you want to be the greatest, it takes a certain mentality. This is definitely a different. I think we believed that back in our day. I couldn't tell you one kid's name from our rival school. I don't care. I don't even want to know them. When they show up on Friday, we just want to beat them. Nowadays, it's a little different, right? 7-on-7's real big. They got all these non-school league things going on. Personal trainers, like what? Kids are getting a quarterback coach or a wide receivers coach. They're going to go get trained by the same speed guy. Mm-hmm. It's different now than it used to be, right? The world's more connected. I think there is a little bit of this, like, I don't want to beat my friend too bad on Friday night, to where we try to instill, you better play every sport so you can beat the same guys every single competitive time they have against you, right? If it's baseball, you beat them in baseball. I don't care if it's field hockey. You go out and you beat them in that, so that on Friday you look across the line of scrimmage and they already know. Hey, dude, I've already got 5 out of 7 games this year, and we're not stopping here, right? We're just gonna make it another one tonight. So it's a new environment. I don't know that everyone still believes like what this gentleman right here is saying. Just you got to come to win every game.
Yeah, it's because this generation it's that make everybody happy thing. So it's like, yeah, I want to win, but I want my friend to be. It's just how society is nowadays, and it's unfortunate. With some of my good friends were enemies from my rival high school, like you were talking about. Like he was the best player on his football team. I'm the best player on this football team. We're gonna see who the best. And now that we're in our 30s, we can talk about it. Yeah, man, I used to kick your butt. I used to kick you. You know what I mean? So it's that respect thing, you know. But back then it was kill or be killed, man. And you wanted everybody to talk about you. We're gonna see who the best. And now that we're in our 30s, we can talk about it. Yeah, man, I used to kick your butt. I used to kick you. You know what I mean? So it was so nice I had to say it twice.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is it you talked about this generation a little bit, right? And it's just like no losers mentality. Like, I mean, they don't keep scoring little league and all that stuff. Like, we never did that, which my then was, I mean, I'm a 06 graduate in high school. So my little league is, was in the 90s or whatever, but we didn't get, you got a trophy if you won it all, you know what I mean? And now it is that kind of everybody gets a trophy, participation, equality, and outcome situation. Everyone's got to be happy. Is that what y'all see up there too? I mean, that's what we have in Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's no more tryouts anymore for real. Where you had to be on the list, and if you wasn't on the list, see you next year. There's no more of those things, and we kind of talk about those things, in the show a lot, where it's changed, and the people that never made the list, instead of fighting and getting on the list the next year, they're the people that's running stuff now. Because I wasn't the one that made the list, so now I'm going to make it to where everybody's happy. And little John, he gets a trophy, and that's the world we're living in right now.
So, when you say, Daniel, when you say that Little League don't keep score, what you mean by that?
Oh, like baseball games and stuff. There's just no score. Like you play to 3 outs and then you swap and you do that, 5, 6, 7, 9 times, whatever that league has for that age group. And then at the end of the game's over. But there's no score on the scoreboard, right? And I think that's starting to go away. I remember that being real big 5 or 6 years ago. But you talk about going to a soccer game and like it doesn't matter if you scored a goal or my son right now. There's no goals. He scored 7 goals in his first ever soccer game, and the game ended, and everyone was a winner, right? Like it wasn't 7-0.
You come down here if you want to. They're gonna let you know you lost 42-0. You lost 50-0. They're gonna tag your team. You hope they don't know your Instagram. You are gonna know it. They keep score, and next year they're gonna be like, man, we beat y'all 42-0 last year. Y'all got the same team. You're gonna sir. You think that shit down here, you gonna know it. They keep score. And that's and this is 7U. This is 8U.
I think it's starting to like trickle out. I don't know. Sports is in such a weird place because everything's in such a weird place, I think. But I like that Tom Brady mentality of like, it doesn't matter. The enemy's over there. You know what I mean? If they're not in the locker room, they're the enemy. We can't be friends right now. I don't even know if you can be friends in season. And I don't know how all that works. Like my nephews, so we got to knock my nephews out of the playoffs. I say got to, like I enjoyed it. It was great to win the game. I hated to see my nephew's senior season come to an end, but from a distance, I got to enjoy that. But on Friday night when we went to play them, all bets are off, man. I'm gonna scheme you up. Look, I know your weakness. I know you're slow off the line. We're gonna kick you. I know you're gonna chase that pulling tackle real bad. Look, we're gonna influence you, and we're gonna make things right. There was no. It sucks that you know me because I know you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't pull any punches because my nephews were over there. Nah, we whipped that tail. I took pictures with them in front of the scoreboard afterwards with a smile on my face, and their mama was crying, and life went on. But that's the mentality it's got to be.
Yeah, there's an old saying: if my mama's on the other side, I'm gonna kick her butt too, and then have dinner later.
Maybe I'll wash dishes this time.
DM.
Here.
You gotta wait for the 30-second delay.
It's not a delay. See, stop laughing. What are you laughing for? Come on, you gotta relax.
What's up?
What's up? How you doing today, sir?
I'm fine. I told you what I gotta do. If I talk to you, it's gonna be a delay from this to that. Because I got a shitty engineer.
No, whoa. Time out. Because right now we can hear you live. I don't know what you're talking about, a delay.
Okay. I told you how I gotta do it. It's gotta listen to it here, and then respond there. When I
This is fucking crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Listen, this is a hectic 2 weeks for some, including myself. So a little laughter to start the store off.
Hectic, though. See, it's really not hectic. Okay, it's nothing ever changed in my house. I'm a guy that lives the same way. Nothing changed here. I turn the computer on. I go live. I paid the bill. I paid his bill, and I paid T-Mobile sorry ass bill. So I don't know which one of these two scoop ball head rascals got it wrong, but they gotta fix it.
Have you tried turning it off and back on again?
Sir, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Daniel, don't do that, man. Don't do that, Daniel.
And then he sent me to like another like channel to talk to him.
So you can test it. So you can test it. No, you know what?
It was on.
Sir.
Hey, let's talk.
Hey.
Okay.
You know what? Maybe me blasting that ass just now is why it's kind of acting regular right now.
All you had to do was come back. All you had to do was come back in here. You was good. That's what I kept trying to tell you.
How many times did I come back in here?
And didn't speak. Sir, don't worry about it. Next video. Next. What it said? Next.
For an outstanding career. Congratulations
Woo!
as well to Coach Zulo. Came out of retirement to coach this Falcons team.
Is that her coach?
Yes.
In 2 seasons. I think that's pretty good, Tim.
The audio is super. I can't hear the audio, but
An outstanding career. Congratulations as well to Coach
But we can
Zulo.
see.
Out of retirement to coach this
I need context.
Sir,
Not that it's ever right.
they lost.
I think that's pretty good, Tim. But
They lost. He came out of retirement to coach the team. They lost, and that was his frustration. He was removed.
I need to know so much more. It's not right. Never right. Keep your hands off players, period. But that's not even old school mentality, right? There's some coaches out there that are.
Yeah.
Like, did she say something bad? That's why I need context. You know what I mean? Does she cuss at the other team?
Is he related to
no,
her?
you don't do that.
Like you said, you need more context. Is she related? Are they related? Like, when you look at how it starts, all he kind of does is just walk back and pulls her tail in the ponytail. Like, did she say something to him that triggered him off like that? Am I justifying the behavior? No. But I mean, Bobby Knight threw a chair in the middle of on the court. So, like, shit happens. And some, like, you guys spoke of before on, like, the time that we're in, certain things like this gets magnified of being very, very, very wrong. Sometimes it's kind of not. And I say kind of because it's just, it's a gray area with that shit. I don't know if that came out clear or not.
So they are
So-
related. She is his great niece. Not that it fixes anything, but there is a family connection.
They lost in Class D basketball.
Sputtering out
He came out of retirement. Sir, you sound clear on out end, sir. He came out of retirement. She's a senior. But people said that was assault and he need to be arrested.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The family aspect kind of changes your viewpoint on it.
Yeah. And not that once again, it ain't right. But if I go
Right.
with my kid's ass because he cussed out another player or something, and he's my son, and I happen to be the coach, he needed
I'ma
to
grab him a
he's gonna get his
little.
ass whipped. Whether
I'm
it's
gonna
in
grab
public
him
or
a
not.
little bit. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel a little terrible just for asking for context. He shouldn't do it. But also, we know the world that we live in. That's clip.
I mean, I feel like you have to ask for context.
Yeah.
A prime example, the video of Marvin Sapp that's going around. He said lock the doors, and he wanted the money from everybody to get $40,000. It's going around with the last week. Allegedly, that video happened back in July. You know what I mean? People said that was his church. That wasn't his church. That was at a convention center. It was a fundraising event type event. You know what I mean? So people take it and they run with it.
Right.
So, yeah. So I mean, it's not a bad thing asking for context, but yeah.
I mean, you know, there's how many coaches have grabbed a player's face mask in football? So let's take it back to football, right?
Not me.
Mhm.
I don't even know that I ever have, but is that something that you agree with or disagree? Right? It's a physical. You're immediately getting that person's attention. Yes, pulling the hair is obviously very, very different.
Right. But it has happened where you grab a kid's face mask. Hey man, what are you doing? That definitely happens.
Yeah.
That definitely happens.
All right. So I'm hold on 1 second, because I'm ready to call DM because he's a
What's the next video, Brandon? We can talk about it while you work
Yeah,
it out.
run it.
We understand. Shit happens, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Joe and I have logged in on the same systems forever, and we log in one night we can't see each other. Like it happens.
That's what I was
Internet
saying.
blip, the studio blip. It's shit happens.
Mhm.
Ain't nobody upset about
We
it.
really can't practice to our standard because they're all tired. So like we go to practice and it's like great energy, great in shorts, guys learn what to do, and then we start going and it's like they can't go. And we have to coach it. I mean, that's what they pay us to do, to coach them. They have to be willing to receive coaching. And on the whole, my whole preach after the practice was we got a lot of guys that put their hands up. They're offended when you coach them. I'm not talking about the freshmen. I'm talking about in general.
Is this like recent?
I think I saw this on on Instagram recently, but I don't know if it's now or when he first started. But I definitely saw this on Instagram. I want to say within the last month.
I had a really good conversation with a DC that's local to me that's back-to-back state champions recently in the last week. I went over and just talked ball with them, drew up my offense, showed what I'm doing for game plan. They just won their second in a row, and they're still trying to get better, which super admirable of those guys over
Nice.
there. I mean, you're calling in people just because you know that they have, an offensive presence. Like, come over here and see if you can beat what I have on chalkboard, right? We all know that chalkboard wars, it's last guy with the chalk, but
Yep.
But we did have a really good conversation about the old school coaching mentality versus this new school of kids want to know why. They want the why behind everything. Right. And I tie this back to there's a Peyton Manning clip. And I guess these are not super connected, but they are. Peyton Manning talking about, I practiced one drill. He practiced for 17 years. He practiced that when he would roll out of the pocket, he would jump over a bag, simulating a defensive lineman on the ground. For 17 years, he did this drill. He never used it. For 17 years, he jumped a bag when he rolled out. And finally, it happened in a game. One time in 17 years. And it's like, does the why behind that drill, is it justified with the lack of times that drill showed up in the real game? So taking it back to this, like, people want to know the why nowadays. He probably started doing that when you didn't challenge Coach. You know what I mean? Coach didn't, when he said do things, you just did it.
Yep.
It's not soldiers on the field anymore. It's a whole bunch of think tanks. IQs are higher than they've ever been. And also, kids are more aware of injuries, right? Like, how much more do we know about CTE and concussions? And people are getting bigger, faster, stronger, and technology's trying to keep up on the safety side, but it really can't, right? At some point, it's just two bodies running into each other. And so there is this whole movement of kids that are just like, you're going to have to explain to me the why behind this before I.
Yep.
I'm seeing that this is March 18th, 2025. So this is just the other day.
So now,
Yeah, it ties into the societal thing where, when we were growing up, it was just do as I say. Don't ask me no questions. That whole mentality, to where now I don't have to ask. I don't have to ask you. I'm gonna just go ask the internet. I'm gonna ask Google. I'm gonna ask Instagram. I'm gonna ask Twitter. I'm gonna ask Siri. So, now kids are more inquisitive to, all right, what exactly are you telling me, and why am I doing this? Does it make sense in my head? So it ties into exactly what you're saying in terms of football and sports. It's a universal thing where these kids ask questions. My 3-year-old, he'll ask why, and I don't take it as disrespectful, but he needs to know why. He's legitimately asking why, so I can process what you're telling me to do. So I think we as older coaches got to evolve with that sense.
Does it ever ruin the game, do you think, Sheed? Like, does it? Are there coaches that just need to check out because they can't keep up with this mentality?
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you come from that mindset of don't ask me no questions, just run through the wall, then you're gonna run those kids away from you. That's the thing. Like, I like when kids ask me why, because now I get to really explain it into detail. So like right now, for example, I coach girls flag football, and I have to coach them as if they know nothing. Hey, get on the line of scrimmage. What's that? Okay, this is the line. Like, so you really have to teach now. It's not just automatic, So I think with the older generation of coaches that don't want to adapt, they're gonna run themselves out anyway.
Yeah, that's a tough line, trying to mix those two generations too.
You said you coached the girls flag football?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
We about to win the chip for that too. Don't worry about it. I got
What's
you.
that ring look like? Does it got Paisleys on it? And...
Don't worry about
All
that.
right. Hold on. Let me play the clip one more time.
They can't practice to our standard because they're all tired. So like, we go to practice and it's like great energy, great in shorts, guys learn what to do, and then we start going and it's like they can't go. We have to coach it. I mean, that's what they pay us to do, to coach them. They have to be willing to receive coaching. And on the whole, my whole preach after the practice was, we got a lot of guys that put their hands up. They're offended when you coach them. I'm not talking about the freshmen. I'm talking about in general.
Coach, they're tired because they're all walking because he can't trust them to drive. They're exhausted.
It's his situation, to me, is a lot going on in Georgia right now. One, you are right, Dan. Can no one for the University of Georgia drive anything? I mean, I think it should be something where the whole team has scooters and licenses are revoked until you graduated. But it's something else that he's saying in here that I really want to like kind of dig into. I don't know if you guys did it or not, but there's like a senioritis thing that happens in high school. So I know he said it's not freshmen, but I know it's another clip where he has the freshmen just not keeping up. And that's because a lot of freshmen, a lot of these guys, when they sign to these schools, they're not continuing with the mission. There's a sense of satisfaction that comes over from the parents, that comes over from the kids, and it's just kind of nasty. And then what happens is they go to these schools and it's like, oh shit, I gotta run. Oh snap, I gotta jump. Oh snap. And you ain't done none of that since November of last year. You know, so I think that's the one reason why those guys aren't getting. The other thing is, and I mean, we all got to be honest, is guys are getting paid now. So guys who really wasn't making any money before in life now are making money. They're taking real spring breaks. They're like going out and buying real items early in life. So how do you tell a kid who used to do it for free as hard as he possibly could now do it the same way and he's getting paid? Don't call me. So it's just one of those things where, you know, it's a twofold type situation where one, they got to find a way, and I think Kirby's a guy that can do it, find a way to get these guys to understand what the standard is, and then they'll figure it out. But I think Kirby's also having the same type of issue that Nick Saban is having and dealing with guys that say, you know what, I'm really not here to be the starter's punching bag. Like, I'll just go somewhere else. So now you don't have a lot of players going balls to the wall, as we would say back in the day, right? Now you got some guys like, nah, I'm not trying to go crazy hard unless I'm in a mix where I'm showing my skill. So that way I could take that film, jump in the portal, and then go do something somewhere else. So it's, you know, it's definitely a lot going on in this one clip right here, if you ask me.
I definitely see that. I can see that. I definitely see the laziness. The picking and choosing your battles, the what we've seen being done, and coaches pressing kids and getting punished for it, and these people were like, no, we can't do this, and all these new rules and regulations and new paperwork and all this new stuff is evolving and changing, and it starts down here. By the time you get up there, a lot of stuff been dealt with. Like some of the lower level schools, they got talented kid, but they let him get away with certain things because he is the team. You know what I mean? And then when you get up there, you ain't the team no more. And then you just somebody else competing for a spot. And for the last 4 years, you done got away with anything and everything you wanted to. They ain't going for all that. You know what I mean?
Right. But then also from that perspective of the little league to the high schools, way how this transfer portal is affecting college, it also affects the high school too. So now you might have a bratty kid that's a really good athlete that goes, well, in New Jersey, we have a rule where a kid can make one free transfer, no penalty, up until I believe it's sophomore year, I think, right, Sheed, or going into his junior year.
Yeah, going into the junior year.
He could transfer. So you might have a freshman and a sophomore, right? And they're kind of bratty. You know, they're the best. They're the best freshman on the field. He dominated all the freshmen. He played some JV as a freshman. Then sophomore, he's playing with you, and he's looking like, you know what? Like, I'm not running. I'm not doing all that other stuff. And now you got this kid talking about, like, researching his options to other schools because he know he could transfer and don't have to sit out. You know, and like I said, that's kind of similar. Just what, you know, in that one small short glimpse of what, like I said, the college realms is, what guys transfer not having to deal with anything. Like, I mean, hell, think about it. If I played at what's that school? The Madonna school. What's that? The school in Florida, I think that is.
Oh, not you talking the one down here.
Chaminade Madonna. So imagine I'm there. I'm a sophomore. I'm a freshman. I'm lighting it up. All of a sudden, coach gets on my nerves. You know what? Fuck this. I'm out. And I just transfer. And it's like, well, damn. Well, if I go too hard on him, then he's gonna do that. Or I don't go hard on him. Now he's a brat. My whole team is all shot. I think the one thing that guys got to understand, and I heard you saying it earlier, she was, you know, learning how to coach. That's something that you have to do continuously. Every year, every time a new team come in, new group of freshmen come in, you have to learn them. And then they have to learn you. So
Yep.
it's okay for them to ask the questions of, what do you mean? Because guess what? He only been here for maybe a year or two. He's not used to the standard that you're used to giving. But if you kind of understand how to approach kids, then you won't have the problem. Like you said, we're going to figure it out. I believe they're going to figure it out. But you just got to continue to work on learning how to coach. And because the kids change, like, most of us are between 20, most of the coaches I know are between 28 and to about 60 right now. So that's a different bracket trying to deal with a kid that's 14.
That's true.
Even a 28-year-old has a hard time trying to understand a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
So,
It's times are changing.
And God forbid if he was in a bad little league program, it's even worse.
That is 1,000% true, sir.
As long as you're consistently learning how to coach, how to connect with kids, as long as you consistently building on those things, I don't know. I feel like you shouldn't have a problem with it because I kind of haven't had a problem with it. I seen she work with some kids too, like the Mello twins, right? It's small kids. They're like 8 years old. If we can relate to them and get them guys going, then you can get with other kids too that's older than them, But you do got some older coaches who have the my way or the highway beat sometimes that we talk about, right? And then sometimes those guys, they miss it. They miss it bad. You know what I mean? They like swing and a miss. And
some people think they are adapting and they bend a little bit, but that's not adapting. You know what I mean? Like some people don't. I don't think everybody understands what it means to go with the time change, and you don't have to. Let's say I am an old school coach, and I've been doing this for a long time, and I do have 9 rings. But I've been running this old school system, and the kids so the kids now they want the highlight reels. They want the big plays down the field. Don't nobody want to run just hit the A gap, hit the A gap, hit the A gap. They want the flashy days. They want to hit the double moves down the field. They want the 99-yard bombs. You know what I mean? They want all
the
that.
Receivers do. The running back want 40 carries.
The lineman want to be an eligible receiver and go out for a pass too.
Well, if you're running the ball 40 times, he can. Now, if you're throwing the ball 40 times, he won't. He won't even be a thought because everybody knows that the ball being thrown in the air. But I get what you're trying to say. Like, some guys have an old school system, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those old school systems don't kind of like fit the mold of the, like, how can I call it? The flashy football that some kids want to see nowadays, that they want to post online and everything like that. But at the end of the day, then that's where it goes back to one of our other episodes where we said that people need to really work on researching programs. Like when you do, like she will tell you they have freshmen for a day. Like don't just freshmen for a day to go to class. Mm-hmm. Freshman for a day with the OC. Freshman for a day with the DC. Like what do you like to run? Is everybody running that? Like is it just the varsity or is it just the JV? Like I need to know. And I know these are questions that parents quite don't understand, so they can talk to me. All right, they can talk to me. I'll do that a service for them for a small fee, But it's just one of those things where you have to start doing homework instead of looking at the titles. Like, a lot of people look at the titles like, "Oh, I got it. Dan team just won a championship. We're going to Dan's team." Woo! But guess what? You a 5'10" receiver, you a 6'1" receiver, but all Dan likes to do is veer offense. That's all he's doing. He feeding that dive, man. He pulling it. Quarterback and the running back running option all day long. Off of that, he might run waggle or flood. So you got to find yourself like, why did I come here? You came here because Dan wins titles. Didn't come here because of the fact that you wanted to be a highlight player. So, like, parents and kids, they really have to really start diving into that so that way they can make better decisions. Those decisions ultimately will help them get to the next level because they will be able to showcase their talent. But don't go to the places trying to hot dog it, though. Like, Just know, if my kid plays receiver, I would like to send my kid to a school that runs a 4 wide set most of the time, or 3-by-1 set most of the time, whatever the case may be. But if my kid's a running back, I might not want him in the spread offense. I might want to get him with a wing T coach, get him with a veer offense coach, something like that. Like just saying, but you just got some guys that want to see wins and losses because of Little League. Somebody don't participated in some money grab national championship. Oh, did I say that? So anyway, and so they go out to these little tournaments and they think that they got something and they got absolutely nothing.
So me and my son come to visit your school. Hey man, what defense you run? Is that a question that you just willingly open to answer?
Yep.
Okay.
Because you need to know everything you're going to get into when you come here for the next 4 years. So you're going to know my temperament. You're going to know how I am going to be. And I always say anytime I'm recruiting a kid that's playing defense, if you give me a skill set, I'm going to use it. I'll be a fool not to.
Right.
So whatever the skill set is, if you can only rush the passer, then I'm going to use you when it's time to rush the passer.
Mm-hmm.
If we playing a team that got 12 personnel, that's 2 tight ends, and they're going to run the ball down my throat, that may not be the game or package for you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you give me a skill set, then I'm going to use it. If you're a corner that you are a man-to-man corner, but your eyes are not disciplined enough in zone, then you're only going to be in packages where I need you to play man-to-man. It's okay. So I like clarity.
Yes.
So,
yes.
when people ask me questions, I don't get offended by it because I want clarity. I don't want it to be week 3, week 4, and you say, "Well, Coach Shee, you told me." No, I ain't tell you nothing. I told you exactly what I told you from the very beginning. So therefore, you can make an informed decision on if you want to be a part of what I got going on or not.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me.
I definitely understand that part. I've had conversations with people and people ask questions, but I don't at certain times I don't want to say it's different for me, but I'm not going to give you everything. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you some things. Well, in the past, sorry, I haven't had no questions recently. This has not been since I've been doing high school. This was youth football. People come to me, oh, what you do, oh, what you run, things like that. And I mean, we run a little bit of everything. Like, what you looking for? You know what I mean? And then people ask questions. Oh, my son a running back. Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, we got a few backs. I mean, he can compete for the start spot. After practice, your son is a fucking wide receiver. Your son's scared of contact. Your son, the first step release, he's gone. If you don't stop him on his first release, once he's gone, and he can catch the ball over his shoulder. All that. No, my son a running back. Sorry, your son is not a running back. You should not pitch your son at running back. He took him because his son was a running back. Got it. But the openness, I've learned that you have to be more open now. I learned that over the years. No, not a secret. No, I'm not hiding anything. I'm not hiding anything, but it's just I got so many holes in my back lately. You know what I mean? It's just trying to sit and see what the hell going on. You know what I mean? Why are you asking all these questions? You know what I mean? You generally clear, or you just fishing for the people over there.
Yeah, that happens too. I've had kids come in, "Hey, coach, man, how many safeties you got? Do you need any safeties?" I don't need nothing.
That's the one. That's the phrase right there. Good,
I don't need nothing. So most parents they ask that to kind of see, all right, is my son going to start right away? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
You give me a skill set that I can use, I will use it. It's that clears that question. So I've had examples of I had a kid start as a junior, and by the time his senior year came, he lost his job. So I don't care about your grade. I don't care about the accolades. None of that matters. It's a new year. Everybody get a fresh start. Now, I got some guys. He's starting. I don't care what none of y'all tell me. He started, but I let it be known. He's playing. Everybody else, y'all figure it out. But he's playing. But I leave
Mm.
that. I have that transparency, so now people know what they're getting with me. They
Mhm.
know. So now when an important topic comes up or a real life situation comes up, they know I'm not going to bullshit him. They know he's always been transparent. He's always kept it real with me. Now I know I can trust him now when it really matters. I could trust his word when it really matters. So that transparency to me is important.
Hey Dan, you can agree that we're in a world now where I think you said earlier, what they call it's not a competitive world, even though this is a competitive sport. It's a very opportunist world. Like she was saying, some people will ask, well, who you got? I've heard that a lot of times. Hey, coach, I see you had 32 seniors. Who you got coming back? Anybody in the linebacker room, anybody in the DB room, anybody receiver. My kid, he played receiver at X school. I think if we bring him over there, he'd probably start, right? And just because guys graduate does not, especially good programs, right? Like, just because guys graduate don't mean it's not another, like, really good dog in the wings.
Don't mean Wayne over here coaching.
But,
because we coach all the kids.
But to me, it's baffling, right? Like, no one can have, as hard as it is, and they say it in the NFL too, right? As hard as it is to win games. So as hard as it is to win games, if a school has been in the playoffs for the past, 5-6 years, and this is like up here, you got to make the playoffs. You got to win a certain amount of games, a certain amount of power plays to make the playoffs. So if this team has made the playoffs 6 years, they might have 1 or 2 state titles in that year, maybe some state playoff appearances in one of those years. And you say, well, since you guys graduated, guys, you should be like needing guys. Like she said, no, nobody really needs anybody because be like, man, like I tell you sometimes, the standard isn't just the standard on the varsity. The standard is the standard on the JV. The standard is the standard on the freshman. I recently got a kid. My guy's probably going to rip me on this one, but I don't care. I don't coach anymore. So I recently had a kid go out to Temple, and he just received his first scholarship offer. Not Sydney Shee. It's another kid named Wagsley, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Wagsley freshman year, he played a little bit, right? A little bit. When the question was asked of why he wasn't playing, someone said he wasn't ready. And so the thought pattern is, well, if he wasn't ready, who was? Like who was that much better that it couldn't get that many reps? Mind you, the kid is, let's go to the freshman numbers. 6'3". He's somewhere around 280. But he's not ready. But he's a freshman. Like B, remember something I was saying? Sometimes just throw a kid out there. Let him get some reps. Let him get some bumps. Let him get some bruises. Because the good thing about freshmen, there's no championship in there. There's nothing that's going to, like, drop a kid's stock or up a kid's stock. It's the perfect learning grounds on what high school football is about. And then when you move forward and you get to the high school JV season, the high school's varsity season, then he gets to understand the difference. Like, okay, wait a minute. I think I got to either get a little more serious in this in the off season, or you know what? You get those kids who, you know what, coach, is really not for me because you threw it out there. Now, this kid's having a good off season. He played JV last year. He got some reps at varsity when some guys went down, obviously, because, again, when you don't have a really good freshman season to get reps, you got to get those reps when you can. So now he goes to Temple this Saturday, and this is the part that baffles me all the time, because I think we've all seen this, Dan, that colleges are looking for about the first thing that they're looking for, and everybody can understand it, is size. So the kid walks in, Temple kid like, yep, I'll take him. Hey, let me see what you do next year, but for right now, you got a Temple offer. And you go, wow. So they got it, but the guys on the beginning level didn't get it. So now that's an issue. So you have to address that issue. You get what I'm saying? Like what you do, B, with the JV. trying to address those issues early. So when they get to the next level, it's not those types of situations. Everybody has to understand what the standard is. But this non-competitive world that we live in, where they go, well, bump it. I'm just gonna send my kid to another school because they done graduated 30 kids. So, and all of those, and 10 of those kids are starters. So my kid got to start automatically. Like, so it's phenomenal thinking. Phenomenal.
So we got a school down here that all the kids run to, and I keep asking all the kids the same question. Like, you got 75 players on roster, 75 on JV, another 75 on varsity. Do you want to play, or you want to be a part of a winning team?
They want to be a part of a winning team.
Yeah, clearly most of them.
And then in 4 years, like we got a school up here like that. She'll tell you, Bergen Catholic. Last 4 years, I think Bergen Catholic has won, right? All 4 of them, I think.
Yep.
All 4 of them. They won 4 straight state titles, right, Brown Dan? And I've seen kids run up there like it's oil being drilled, okay? Like they just to the hills. And a lot of kids just been up there getting participation certificate after participation certificate. They've been getting rings after rings. No college homes, no film, just kind of hanging out. And the sad part about it is they actually be good kids. They're good kids that if they were at anybody else's school, I won't go on a limb to say start, but it'll be a great addition. A great addition. But like you said, a lot of kids don't want to kind of go through that because that's hard. Like losing, it's hard. I don't want to lose. I want to just go up here. They win. See the DM. We'll go up there where they win. I don't want to go nowhere else. But you're not even a monster. Like you're just a cat that come in. You got the DM shirt on, like Cam Newton said in his last thing, right? Like I can't turn you into a Ferrari, dude. Like, but you get this free shirt, cool. You know what I'm saying? Give me my money, thank you.
Well, I'm not good enough to train them, so they got to bring them to you. Because word on the street is I suck. They heard that you're good. So they're not going to bring them to me. They're going to take them to you. So you got to train them.
They are. And then guess what? But he's not going to learn because there's a certain thing called competitive spirit that he just don't have.
Yeah. You got to want it.
Why he don't have it is because someone in the household don't have it.
You got to want it.
Oh, my nephew said he wanted to play varsity. I said, are you sure? He said, yeah. So you're not going to have the same type of childhood as the other kids. Mm-hmm. It's going to be different. So one season, and I've kind of been training for a long time, but in one off season, it was treacherous. You got to lift with the team. You got to lift with me. You got a position training with Coach Sheed, a position training with me, a speed training with somebody else, a yoga with somebody else. And that's just to get on the field. You still messed up on some plays. But in order to get on the field, you had to put that much work in to get on the field. Now, he still was solid at times, but I'm just saying, what I'm telling you is with that much work, he wasn't the best. And if he weren't the best with that much work, how do people think that they can go train with anybody for 1 day a week, do the regular team list, not no extra lifts, and think they're going to get a scholarship offer, think that they're going to play and start football, think that they're going to make All-State? It's just retarded.
Do we think that as we approach this time, excuse my little man's going to join me apparently.
You should.
Don't start.
Kids way cuter than me. Approach this time of like where there's way less scholarships to be had, right? We already see that D1 through 3 is filling up with D1 kickbacks. JUCO, now you get 2 free years, don't even count.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be full of D1 kickbacks or whatever version of that is. High school kids are at an all-time lowest odds of getting a scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
Does mom and pops finally buy into the fact that a coach knows how to produce recruitable players and get them into college athletics, whatever level that is?
They're gonna have to, if you ask me.
Or do they keep chasing my freshman better be on the field when it's at some coach that has no idea what he's doing? They're not even going to win games. He's not developing at all. Where's that line? Where do we do we think it comes back to the like a good coach finally is recognized?
I think it goes to that spot where we all remember where good played, bad didn't. And if you want to be good, you're going to have to put some time and some effort and some work in. If you just keep jumping around, looking for the one spot where who's going to play my kid, it's not going to work. Like you said, it's slim pickings right now to get scholarships. And back, like I said, I can always just keep saying back in those times of the Street and Smith magazine, like you had to be good. Like you wasn't just because you were tall. No, you had to be a player, and that's why you got the scholarship. It's gonna go back to that. Because why? Because I could easily get a kid from, I don't know, Tulsa to transfer over. I could easily get a kid from UMass to transfer over. Like those kids are gonna be like, you know what? Because you're gonna have kids gonna say, it's okay, coach. I'll go to Temple. I'll do 2 years in Temple. Get my game right. Get my body right. And then as soon as I see the crack in the mold, I'm going to fly out of here. And I'll jump on that Rutgers, and I'll jump on that Penn State, and I'll jump on that Maryland, or whatever the case may be. That's what you're going to see. You even see it in college basketball. A lot of those guys that's in March Madness this year, you seen them. Oh, he's at Kentucky, but he was at Xavier prior to. You know, it's like, wow, like a lot of, and they're good kids too, like they're balling. But it's like, so he went that route before he got to there. Oh, I see what's happening. I get it. And that's just where we are right now.
Do we think where does NIL play a role in all this? Like
shit.
Collegiately. you just mentioned a guy that went from a blue chip basketball school to a blue chip basketball school.
Mm-hmm.
Did he want to go to school number 2? Did he want to be at Kentucky, but they wouldn't offer him, or he got bigger NIL from Xavier to start there? How does he?
Most of those things probably was you didn't get the Kentucky look coming out. You probably only got the Xavier look, right?
I call Xavier blue chip. If they aren't, I'm sorry.
They're pretty solid. They're pretty solid. Yeah. So, but you know, like I know, as far as if we're thinking the level after that was the NFL, more guys out of Kentucky's gonna go than out of Xavier. So, but he ended up making Player of the Year in the conference that Xavier is in. So now it's like, well, why come back here and put myself on the market? Because these guys got agents. So you just have your agent talk to somebody and say, listen, if they got, I don't know, 500,000 more than what I'm making right now, I clearly could beat that big out the game. I'll transfer over. And that's kind of what you got. Like I said, the game is real interesting with NIL. I think the big reason why they're having a lot of the situations they're having is because they don't want to bring in no high school bus and you lose a strong donor. That's what this is about. I don't even think it's about coaches losing jobs anymore. I think it's about losing the donors. And we can't lose the donors
and you pay somebody a lot.
Because we missed on the kid.
You pay some kid a whole bunch of money and then he ain't that.
Yep.
But now I just saw an offer for a 7th grader the other day.
Well, you know, something cute. That's what I call them. Something cute.
So I thought a lot of those was fake though, because like it's like 4th graders I be seeing will offer. They got 12 offers. I'd be like, man, I don't know a lot about this offer game, but I'll be damn. And 4th grade, you get a damn offer.
It's clickbait. It's clickbait. You know, something to build up a guy's social media network, something to try to bring some attention to him. It's interesting. In the gym on Saturday, I was telling somebody that you really don't want your kid to be the best 4th grader. Like, that's the wrong time to peak. Okay? It's okay to be an average 4th grader, an average 5th grader. Hell, even an average sophomore, if I had to take it that far. You want to peak at the time to peak. So if we can get you to be an All-American junior, like, oh, wow, yes, that's what we need. Because now the offers are real. And you can entertain people in a real manner, right? But if you do get that status early, again, what they say, great responsibility comes great work or something, I believe. You guys will help me clean that up.
Great power comes great responsibility.
So
I mean,
you go ahead and put that target on your back about, I'm the best this, the best that. And I just saw a clip and I noticed to be true. A kid that didn't have offers, but he was going to camps, doing research on the guys at the camps, and did a whole highlight tape on how he did work at wide receiver on this top corner, this top corner, this top corner. He did on his high school film, he had no film, no wide receiver clips at all. But he was going to the Vanderbilt camp. I think it was Vanderbilt and Wake Forest, the two schools. I think that he was kind of going back and forth with. And Vandy had offered him, and then I think Wake offered him after that, whatever. But they offered him because his highlight tape was him going to college camps, finding out who the colleges was high on, and destroying them. He had somebody recording every clip and was like, look, my school don't throw the ball. But you said you like this kid, this kid, this kid, this kid, and I destroyed them. So, if you want to put that target on your child's back and say he is the best, because listen, I'm good for it. I actually just labeled my young tight end as the best tight end in New Jersey. I believe in him. I believe he can be that. He can be that. But I'm also talking to him, letting him understand that they're coming. Because I'm putting some strong words out there. So you're gonna have to take some strong criticism. She to tell you, she's gonna have to baptize him again. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna take strong criticism to deal with you being the best. You might drop a pass in the game. Somebody might kick you behind. You might miss a block. It's gonna go bad because it's supposed to. How you react to it is everything, though.
So can I swing off this? Coach Sheed, again, because you're my best friend. So, you know what I mean? All my questions directed towards you. All right. My son is incoming ninth grader. Since he was 7, I've been taking him to quarterback training, paying like $200 a month, quarterback training. He come to you and you tell me that he's not a quarterback. He's not a quarterback. Now,
he might not tell you that. Customer's always right. You want to be a quarterback? Fuck it.
Now, I'm mad because I done put 7 years into paying and get my son trained as a quarterback. His whole youth career, he's been a quarterback. And then he come to you and you telling me that he's not a quarterback.
I ain't gonna tell you that.
Told you. Customer's always right. You want to be a quarterback? You got it.
You're gonna put him in the kettle with the quarterbacks, and we're gonna see who come out as the quarterback.
Yeah.
Especially at the quarterback position. There's no subs. You can sub linebackers, you can rotate D linemen. At quarterback, there is no subs. It's either you're the guy or you're not. And if you have 2 quarterbacks in your system, you ain't got no quarterback.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
So somebody's gonna weed themselves out. So you'll have every opportunity to showcase that you're the quarterback. It's a win-win for me. I'm going to get a good athlete. I'm going to get a good whatever it is. It's a win-win. If you rise to the occasion, it makes our offense and our team that much better. If you don't, hey, especially at that position. So I'm not going to tell you he's not. I'm just going to tell you he's going to have to show me that he is.
You know what's interesting how you put it, B? How you said, he was a quarterback, all the while in Little League, right? And then you get to the high school level and you expect him to be the same thing that he was in Little League. But it is 2 different levels. Sometimes in Little League, you just put the quarterback as just the best athlete. That's why she said, I'm either get a hell of an athlete, I'm going to get a quarterback. Because that's usually what happens at Little League. High school is different, but I see them. I see them all the time. Little League kids, they got the quarterback trainers, and guess what? I get it. Quarterback trainers get money.
I've heard.
But it's sometimes you see certain situations and go, man, he really should work on playing DB too. He really should work on being running back too. He really should work on being, whatever too. I'll give you a scenario. Like I just talked about the kid I said that had a scholar. The young man I said should be the number one tight end, in my opinion, right? So right now he has, I like to do this quote unquote because we don't believe what we have until we have it, 5 scholarship offers, right? At the tight end spot. But he still works out at defensive end still too. Because who's to say that side don't work? Guess what else he does? He works with the offensive line too. So maybe if this catching the ball thing don't work, you could just squeeze him in. It'd be a left tackle for you, a right tackle for you. Like you have to put kids in positions where they have more than one in there, like more than one thing that they can do. Like unless you're just really good, and like she knows that he's had a few, I've had a few. You know, Dan, Brandon, you probably seen a couple too yourself. Like you might have seen that one kid. Like yeah, he's a DB, flat out. He's a DB. It don't even make sense to do anything else but DB. You know what I mean? So I get it. Those scenarios happen, but those are anomalies. It's not a lot of guys. Like I knew one kid. We had him on the show, Sabor Kareem. He could play receiver and he could play corner. It would have actually been a crime for them to put him on one side of the ball, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I still think he's better receiver.
Definitely do.
Second question, I guess, to Daniel. I come in, and for the last 8 years of youth football, I only played wide receiver. Hey, coach, I only want to play wide receiver. I don't want to play defense.
Wrong approach.
That's the end of your question?
Yeah. This is the kid coming to you saying that he only played
Make
wide
him run laps, Dan. Make him run laps. He don't tell you what he does. Wrong approach.
Hey, number one, we preach Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
We're Iron Man football. It's too small around here, right? We don't have there's kids out there that are wide receiver only.
Mm-hmm.
Not at the school level that I'm coaching at. You know what I mean? I've been at the Big Top. They had those kids. But even then, that kid was not coming in and telling coach where he plays.
Hello.
You know what I mean? And the ones that played on Friday night, the good ones, the ones that getting offers, they absolutely are willing to go play corner for a series. When the game's on the line and I am a deep threat, take the top off guy, they've got 1-2. We're up by 6. There's a minute left in the game. All we can't do is give up the deep ball. Coach, put me a corner.
Yeah.
You want me to? We'll keep the top on this defense. I'm not doing it now. I don't know everything else, but
Elijah Burris. He's at Notre Dame right now as a receiver.
One of my favorite players I've been around was a left tackle at Owasso. I think he committed to Arkansas, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Hey, game's on the line. He goes in at defensive end. He don't give a damn. Hey, let's go. I'm 6'7", 285, 300, whatever he was. We're gonna go wreck shop on defense too. We're kind of win football games around here.
I had to do that in a championship game. I had a kid that played guard. He did not play defensive tackle, actually nose guard. He plays offensive guard, but he didn't play nose guard all year long. Like we had a 30 front around here. It got down for the nitty gritty, like you said, Dan. I was like, "Yo, big fella, you ready?" Yes, sir.
Hey, you know how we took care of him? You play a little defense. We threw him a tackle back screen, let him score a touchdown.
There you go. Hey, Brandon,
let him get some point conversions. Hey, we start taking care of you, right? You're a kid that's committed to the team. The team's committed to you. Let's go. We're going to take care of you too. This year at Bristow, we let our offensive guard, he'd be low D1, probably a D2 kid. He's big, he's good.
Okay.
Sloppy sometimes. He gets to line up in our heavy formation as the running back, baby. Direct snap. Let's go. Go score a touchdown. So you've pulled the kick with running back all year long. Go get you some love.
We had a high school.
Brandon, there ain't at my level, that doesn't exist.
Well,
he better be a D1 talent and already have an offer before I'm worried about putting him on one side of the ball.
Right. Hey, Dan, we had a kid up here from PCTI, Passaic County Technical School. They have over like 100 kids on the team. Like the sideline is packed. When it got time for the nitty gritty, the kid that they had at defensive end, they used to wreck shop at the end. Oh, it's 3rd and 1. Coach, I got that. Direct snap to me. Say go. And you couldn't stop it. You knew it was coming. It was like the
dudes
tush
be
push.
dudes, right?
Dude was a big dude, and he ran with bad intentions. Like a guy like him was bad that had the ball because he already knew like I'm getting this thing probably once or twice, and I'm killing everything. Like whatever's in the way. The low line can miss a block. It don't matter. Like I'm just snapping this thing and I'm going straight. So, like you said, high level dudes do high level things.
I had to play like that. People told me I was stupid.
About what?
Because I had a left tackle that was big as shit. He had to be like 6'5". And this was youth football. This was like 12 year. He was big as shit.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a play called not a play, audible called Red Mountain. We'd switch him and take him from left tackle and put him at fullback. And just run a dive. He big as shit. I mean, once you get a good push, he gonna fall. Then that's all I need you to do.
He got 10 yards on the ball.
Listen to me. Championship game on the line. We tied up. I ran it first time. He was like lazy. He was lazy. He was tired. I'm gonna say he was tired. He didn't hit the hole like he normally did. Ran it again. He didn't hit it. Last play. Oh my God. This is the last play. If we don't get this, we lose. So I had to hit the counter off of it, and the quarterback bootlegged it around and ran it around.
You didn't grab him by the face mask like how the old man did, pull him over.
No, they were still on the field. We ain't had no time to do all that. I had to call it.
He probably had a ponytail. He could have just
Just yank the ponytail, right? Yeah. What are you doing? Listen, about that ponytail thing, is I wasn't even on the show for that part. I can't lie. I've been there. Okay. I've been there. It's went down. And the funny thing about it, and I guess this she will attribute to the character of who I am. When the boy went home to tell his mom, you know what his mom said? Well, you must have deserved it. so it's really, like you said, it's a fine line, and social media just changes everything with a camera angle. And you
Mike be the referee.
There you go. You know, oh my God, I pray for you, Mike. Your first
Mikey.
Mike, it's almost over. That disgusting culture is almost over. You got maybe 2 more months.
Oh no,
just beginning.
L ain't even start yet. What do you mean?
No, dude, I cringe on 7-on-7 thing, man. I seen a kid do something the other day online. I'm like, they're doing this stuff because they know they're being recorded. Like, if no one recorded these things, if no one kind of made it a big deal, I guess, so to speak, then like you wouldn't see it. But it's interesting though, right? Because I've watched these little OT7 matchups that kind of pop up. They be on NFL Network sometimes and stuff. No one throws the ball in the air and shoot it 30 times.
Oh no, you ain't doing that.
But
no.
But that's high level. But you see what we talking about? See, that's high level though.
Yeah.
So if you're, but you know, you gotta. I really, and Brandon, chop this up, please. I really want parents to ask themselves, if you're looking at the C1N team, and I forgot who else it is. I think it's like Prime or Raw Miami, and all of those guys. If you don't see them when they catch a touchdown, swinging at they Johnson, and they're high level kids. What are you doing in them small markets that you're in? What is the coach standard at the small markets that you're in?
They told me I ain't no fun.
The only thing that they do in the OT7, they got the little pit in the back. They all run. They dive into the pit. That's it. After that, I have not seen not one extravagant type of celebration in that OT7 thing. Now, either OT7 need to take over for everybody else, or everybody else need to step their game up to OT7, because that's where you should. If you're doing 7-on-7, that's where you should want to put your kid on display at, because that's on a real live network with a real live following, not these jackleg followings that you be having and these great cameramen. I almost went off the grid, but these great cameramen that be watching certain shit. I'm telling you, it's annoying, man. It's annoying. Here it is. What Mike D said. Only positive I see at this point is he's getting reps. I ain't putting stuff. I ain't putting up with that stuff. Run routes and work on your releases. No, Mike, I'm telling. it is a good thing that they're getting reps. But you know what my brother said to me the other day, Dan? Just because you're working out, just because you're still playing, don't mean you're correcting your wrong. Like if you didn't work on your releases, if your release was bad in the fall, you didn't work on your releases in the winter, you're going out there in the spring, you still got the same bad release.
For sure.
But you can't say that to some of these investors in 7-on-7. That's what we start calling the parents. I'm calling them investors. That's what they are. You guys are investors. You don't get the big picture. The big picture is, you know, going out there and your kid doing, you know, swinging his Johnson. I seen one kid humping over the kid or doing some old nonsense.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. I saw that.
You saw it,
nah,
right?
Nah. That was
The
crazy.
little boy.
Yeah, nah, that was crazy.
Yeah, no,
like,
we don't do all that celebrating. I don't even do all that celebrating until the end of the game.
My
like, I don't give a
guy.
fuck you score in the first
Brandon.
quarter. They told me that I'm a boring coach. I don't give a fuck. You call it what you want to call it. Like, hey, we
Brandon.
ain't doing all that, yo.
Brandon.
All that teabagging, shooting in the air. You see the NFL just ban CeeDee Lamb shit. I'm sorry, sir. Because let's push the button and shit. But like
I'm cold. I've got a runny nose because I'm cold. Is that what his was? Like, what are we doing?
I don't know. He just did some shit. He just get up and he just waved his nose. And the NFL banned it. They said it was what's the word they use?
Or offensive or something.
Yeah. This shit's
it's the same as a throat cut. I got a runny nose.
Nah, that was different. Man,
they're on the same label. They're under
they
the
are
same
the same label.
Mm.
They are the same label. You know, look, I get the snot nose first down. Look, you know, that's better than what I'm telling you, Brandon. If you find a 7-on-7 tournament around where you are, you're not even going to take a day. I invite you to take, if you don't mind, and I'll pay you for the hour, 1 hour.
Oh, the Ravens got one, June the 7th.
June 7th. It's got to be one earlier than that.
No. I know the website. I can find online. We had one last weekend. I don't do those because they, you know, they act like they
but this is what I'm talking about. And then the sad part is, we are also, I hate to admit it, but we're in that real sensitive era where parents are bringing guns to games and now referees are getting shot. So like, think about that. We're in that world where you got violence because your kid is looking bad and or the bad call. And now you got somebody, your son played quarterback. He threw an interception and the other kid grabbed the ball. He punted it across the field.
So, side note, the Pistons and the Timberwolves just had a real big fight on the court. 7 people got ejected, players and coaches. It happened about an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, but see, there's regulations in there. There are no regulations in the 7-on-7 world that we're talking about. You know,
well, we always got rules, but their standard ain't their standard.
They're house rules. You know why? Because all they care about is the $750 payment, the $550 payment. That's it. They don't care about whether you're if there's an unsportsmanlike penalty, we will assess it on the other team and it's a 15-yard. I don't care about no 15-yard. Throw that team out for the day. Make that the penalty. You throw the football up, coach, that's what's up. Wrap it up. Y'all out of here. No refunds.
That's what's up.
Now, if I host a 7-on-7 tournament, you host a 7-on-7 tournament, Ray Lewis come and host a 7-on-7 tournament. We got 3 sets of rules.
Right. But guess what? Your standard, my standard, Ray Lewis standard, gonna all probably be different standards. The definitely thing is this. See, all about the money, period. Told you. Refs ain't following them rules, all about the money. So, like, what I'm saying is the tournament organizers, because that's the ones who is the reason why it happens. Tournament organizers are so scared to throw a team out for nonsense that they'll allow it to happen. A person like myself, when I ran tournaments last year, I kept the entry fee in my pocket. So the entry fee was $450 because I didn't want to issue. I'd be like, if I see it, you get your money and you get to go.
Immediately.
Because you have to have a standard. Once it's a standard set, guess what everybody does? It's like, I hate to say it, but it's like when the law is followed to its truest form. No one is speeding when the state trooper is sitting out on the highway. So that's what it is. It's like, look, this is the standard. I'm gonna stand right here, middle of the game, or I'm gonna have my guys working the tournament. Like, so if I'm the tournament organizer, I got guys working the games, working the fields. My guys, my field generals, you are field generals, you're field managers. If you see a kid doing one of these things, or head tapping on the head, or throwing the football up, punting it and shooting it in, call me immediately. They are going to be let known. Thank you for coming. You can take your money and you can go ahead and leave the field. You're done. Oh, that's messed up. I know. I'm sorry. It is messed up. You got to go. And you know what the other teams around that went? Because I threw one out. You know what the rest of them going to say? I like
You
this
make an example out of the first one.
I like this tournament. You know what the parents going to say? Of the kid who was sitting there getting embarrassed just 20 seconds ago over some non-scholarship athlete kid? I like this tournament. Yeah, that's right, coach. Get him out of here. I like this tournament. And that team ain't going to come back anyway because they're already mad. But I will have more guys come to the tournament than the one that left out because of the standard. I remember when I had a DJ in one of my tournaments. You know what I told him? I only want to hear house music or classical music. Music controls people. You start playing that, you can get bucked in the club. Man, it's going down. It's going down. We some headed busters. It's going down. You know what
That's
you better
old.
play?
That's old school stuff. The young kids don't know nothing about that.
Look. I'm trying to keep the show PG-13 because what they listen to is way worse than like that. But what I'm saying is, you know what I like them play? I like them play "Follow Me." Why don't you follow me? Hey, look, look. And my old parents, they be in the crowd. That's my song right there. and everybody having a blast, like a big old cookout there. And they just be like, I'm coming back to this tournament. His hot dog guy was awesome. And the DJ, ooh, baby. I didn't know he knew that song. Yeah.
Hey, yo, this guy funny as shit. Yeah.
But guess what the kids do? Because the kids can't understand, the kids go mute. Let me put my headphones on. Yep, perfect. You don't know nothing that's going on. All you know about playing football, putting your headphones on. Perfect.
Hey, he just gave away the game for free. Damn, he just.
What else is new? They ain't buying. Get right or get left. What else is new?
Oh, yo, y'all funny, yo.
It's the number one podcast, man. Like the number one. And I might have to start calling this a sports podcast, man. It's the number one real life podcast that you can find on social media. And it's every other Sunday from 9 to 11. Sometimes I don't like it to be 11, but they love it to be 11. So that's
we don't just coach football, we teach life skills.
Well, that's what football is.
Sir.
Sports are life skills. Like that. My lady friend goes, you just sit there and watch them damn sports. Yo, you don't even understand. I'm actually studying. Like, it's so much life stuff that's being taught. Like, point in case, you just said it about that brawl that went down, right? And for some reason, they need to change the water in Detroit. But I don't know. I think it's still bad because that's like the third fight that's been over there. But anyway, so it's just one of them things where, but you think about it, it's going to be a lesson learned by that. It's going to be like some guys will get taxed. Some guys ain't big money guys, so they about to get it hit the worst. And you're gonna be like, man, I ain't going out there no more. I'm good. Shout out to you, Mike, man. I appreciate you. He's my dude, man.
I like
we
Mike.
gotta get Mike back on to give us a rules update going into this year because some of us still coach.
Hey. Don't light that fire next to me. It is a fire next to me. Don't you light that fire over there. You're right. Some of us, all right, are still coaching. Some of us have made announcements. And boy, oh boy, I love being the big bug-eyed fly that I am on the wall because I got a great seat. Oh, hey.
Yeah,
what else, man? Don't
you said to give Sheed the whole screen?
Nope, not yet.
Oh,
Oh, you'll know when. Oh, you'll know when.
I thought he had something he wanted to get off his chest.
What other clip you got for us?
My bad, Sheed.
I'm not the victim. Sports are getting softer, and there's not enough people that are living and dying with every possession, striving, giving everything that they have to winning.
10-second clip that I wanted to use today. Ironically, I kind of wanted to tie into the clip from earlier with the older guy, and we've seen that. And obviously, a lot of people calling Coach Hurley a crybaby or whatever they want to call him because he's ranting around about how the game has been called against him just recently. Obviously, he's a high competitor, defending champion, so clearly he ain't crying. He's just a little disappointed in how the game played out. But just stay on the context of what he just said. And I don't like to kind of like trying to do that with other guys. Sports is getting softer. I want to jump deep into that. No pause, big pause, whatever y'all call that shit. But what it is everything's getting softer. We talked about it earlier, right? With the whole free t-shirt era and everybody wins type of thing. That's what it is. I think obviously clearly he's, talking about what he's at in the basketball world, but sports is getting softer because everybody wants to win. Everybody wants the person to be successful. Everybody wants their kid to be the All-American. Every coach wants their team to be the best team. And because you don't achieve that goal, all of a sudden there had to be something wrong instead of you just not being the best that day, and I think that's why they say sports are getting softer, because now we're making ways for guys to feel comfortable. We have a league, y'all, in New Jersey where if your team really wasn't good for, I think it's like the past 2-3 years or something like that, you can opt to play in that league. It's called the Ivy League. Now, I understand it, right? A nice little jump start to a program because, playing heavy hitters every week might not get it there either unless you're working. But that's another story. But they have this league where the guys, they can play a whole season there and they can win a championship trophy that looks very similar to the one that me and she compete for. And, they're the Ivy League champions and they get, celebrated as a champion in New Jersey, whatever the case may be. When in actuality, you're not a champion. Like, y'all are the best of the bottom tier. But why do we have to have that? We have to have that because, like we said, Dan, earlier, where we got to make sure everybody walks out here with a t-shirt and a smile. And you how do you expect your kid to kind of want to play in the Ohio State-Michigan game? And he doesn't have that type of mentality because he's just used to the t-shirt and the smile. How do you think your kid is going to go into the swamp and he plays for Florida State? First of all, you expect the kid to go to Florida State. Then he's going to play Florida and against Florida State, and then he's in the swamp. But he's used to free t-shirts. It just don't add up. And people really
once he get to high school, then he gonna turn it on.
Who?
Once he get to the higher level, then he gonna turn it on. Just have patience. He gonna turn it on later.
This ain't the I Lie to You show. This is the real. This is listen. What's the show? HBO had Real Talk Brian Gumble, right? This is one of them type of shows, man. That it doesn't turn on. It doesn't. I had to be honest with one of my players from last year. He wanted to go to a certain spring practice. And he had two to pick from. One was a high level, one was a level underneath, right? And so he was like, well, what do you think? I said, I think you should go to the level underneath. Well, why you say that? Like, what if I, just at least go to the level above? I introduce myself. I have a great season. Now that coach going to be looking for me. I said, well, that's a good point. But what are the trends? What have you been doing since your freshman, your sophomore, your junior season? You just been okay, right? Yeah. That's why that's the school you go. That's why you go lower tier. You're not, it's the chance of you having a blowout season is slim to none. And why would you bank on that? You got to bank on what you know is a guaranteed book. You can't bank on something that's not a guaranteed book and banking on hope. Hope is cool, but you see what it got Jesse.
So, what you think, Daniel?
I don't know, man. Y'all brought up so many good things tonight. Small school Oklahoma, a lot of it doesn't even fit us. Coach talking about picking what level you're going to be at, and
but like, yeah, but like Dan,
kids
if your
ain't
kid
got
said
that competitive that fire anymore, man. It's just, hey, look, football's shrinking. I don't know if y'all are aware or not, but football's dwindling. It ain't. It's far from gone. Baseball went through this a few years ago, right? Baseball was supposed to be America's pastime, and it lost its luster. It became too slow. We got to put in pitch clocks and all that shit, right? So
Yeah.
We got to fight it. I don't know what it is yet, but kids don't want to get hurt anymore. Football, you get hurt.
Coach bullies.
Coach bullies.
Coach bullies and coach like a bully. Like that's all. That's all I know. That's all I'm gonna try to do. Like you said, that's the best way to fight it. You know, you can't conform, like we talked about earlier, right? Coaching is learning every day, every year, right?
Really?
So I'm not gonna conform to the new style, but I'm gonna keep up with the trends of what gets kids to the next level, and I'm gonna coach them hard. We spoke about how, sports, and we all here football guys, we just talk about how football is a very good comparison to real life. So I'm gonna coach you hard because life is hard, right?
Coach. This is my big thing. And we just watched a clip of Kirby Smart saying the guys that they recruited to Georgia football
can't keep up.
Soft, but
yeah, but they can't keep up.
So if he can manage that roster and win another national championship, or let's say he's top 10.
Just top 10.
Okay? He gets in the playoffs, he wins one or loses, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets another class of those and he does it again. And he gets another class of those and he does it again. Now he's sending some of those to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Now NFL coaches are having to change the way they coach. At what point are we, as high school football coaches, just have to admit that the game ain't the same?
We can admit it. You can probably admit it now.
It is time for you to roll back your bullies, coach bullies. What if that don't work anymore? What if there's no bullies?
Then that's why I'm retired, Dan.
Hey, I get it. Nick Saban did that just recently, right?
Yeah. He said, no,
and what did
I
he say?
can't do it.
He said, this is not the shit that I signed up for.
No, I can't do it. Last thing I'm going to have is a parent bring me, talk to me about why her son is crying at home because he can't cut the mustard. It just is what it is. But I love to live in my own testimony. Like I love to tell the kids about Donald Massey. Like, look, man, I get it. Because you know why? Because it wasn't me either. I didn't cut the mustard until late, And then by the time I cut the mustard, it was like senior, and I'm not even playing football no more after that. It's okay. That's the part. It's okay. Like, even with parents, and you got to spin it on the parents as well to say, well, I know that you aren't like the CEO of the company, right? And it's okay. You're not the boss, right? But it's okay. And I think when we can make those connections to people, well, the ones that tune into our show, then we got something, right? If they're not tuned in, then they're not going to get it. Like, one thing I think should change, and I swear, God forbid if I'm ever in charge of like a youth program of like a city or a state, because if I am, I'm destroying a lot of things. Town sports, town ball should be the only ball that's allowed. No AAU football. None of that 5 kids from this town, 5 kids from that town. Nope. Town ball. You know why town ball needs to be the best ball? Because 9 times out of 10, that kid's going to be in that town for a long time.
Yeah.
Just how it works. So it's okay with him being in the town, growing up in the town, playing against other guys playing with guys from his town against other guys, graduating from high school. Whether now at that point we could probably weed it out, all right. Maybe it's too big. Maybe town got too small for you. So yeah, maybe you need to go. Might want to check out one of the big boys. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm going to. Nope. You don't go. You ain't outgrown it. You can go to Manalapan or whatever school, right? But he probably need to go to DePaul, Joe's, wherever the school may be. Maybe he hit it out the park too much. It's getting not gonna work for him no more. Maybe, right? Everybody's situation is different. But then you do have the situation where he graduates from high school, he goes to school, goes to college, and you know what? Shit. Got to go to college where? Probably in state, because that's where you get all your money. So you're going to the Division II, Division III, Division I college in New Jersey for the guys up here. You're okay with Dan. You'll go to the local college and okay. And then guess what? Well, now you probably local police, you probably local judge, you probably fire department, you're probably a teacher, you're probably an accountant. From where? From the town that you grew up in, because that's where you know the people, and you can make the money because they know who you are. That's how it goes. But so if I was in Little League, first thing that's gone is those AAU programs. You're out of here. Second thing that's going to happen, if you're not good, you're not good. There are plenty of trainers out here nowadays, some good and some social media. That's going to be the new phrase sheet.
Coach, where's the line of like, we firmly believe, I told you, we're small school, baby. We don't, every school I've been with, we can't cut a kid.
Yeah.
Where's the point of we don't give up on a kid versus, hey, that kid ain't good? Where's the coaching to develop him as the next guy versus, hey, you ain't never going to be the guy? Where's that line at?
He's not good, and we got to talk real life to him then, right? Like, I mean, I've had some kids.
When are you having that talk? Is it his senior year, or do you get until the off season between junior and senior year to make him a guy? We all know. Look, there's those kids that
yeah. I mean, I
can be in pads. We get that.
Yeah, but you know what?
Borderline.
You don't want to deter them because you need those guys too, right? So it's one of those things.
Guy. Bob Stewart.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where I'm probably not going to tell him you're not good enough. I'm not going to say that. I'm not. You're not as good as Don Massey. So that's why Don's starting. I'll probably say something like that. But I'm not going to say like, yo, this ain't for you. You should give it up. Unless I see something else. If I see something else, I'm going to tell you that. I had a young kid who is a wrestler. He was too short. Like, yo, you should really just focus on wrestling. And don't even focus on the football part, dog. Like, it's not gonna work. And he focused on wrestling, and he kind of turned out to be a really good wrestler at it too. So, so in those cases are different. But if you had a kid, he's a football guy, he loves football, he wants to be on the football team, then I'm gonna tell him, yo, keep working, because I'm gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. You're not gonna go to Oklahoma. You're not gonna go to Oklahoma State. No. But if you stick with and you like this sport, there's a home for you. Now, you're going to get them to that home, but in reality, you're going to let them know, well, let's talk reality here. You didn't start freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior year, you was in a rotation. So, like, why don't you just focus on the major? Now, if you go to that school and you can still play ball and give you money for it, take it. Take it and run. But focus more on the major. I think it's the senior year, Dan. I think it's the senior year when you have to say, look, now it's time for real life. Like, real life is about to happen to you. But we developed a really good work ethic with you in the off season, so you understand how to work and grind. So let's try to focus more on working and grinding on your major than working and grinding on the football field. You had your hand raised, B. What happened?
2 weeks ago, one of my kids came to me and was like, Coach, this year, I'm going to be like, what's his name, Travis Hunter? And I was like, the one that played both sides of the field? He was like, yeah. Oh, shit.
And you said, no, you're not.
No, I didn't tell him that. I said, all right, cool. Last year, this kid didn't want to play versus varsity. He didn't want to hit nobody. I mean, we was down to injury, so I had to put him. I put him at middle linebacker. Kid come down the field, he sidestepped. I mean, like,
Hey Dan. So
he just want to be a part of the team.
But Dan, would I be wrong if I told him no, you're not? Because I've known to say that.
Hey, so my greatest mentor in life, his name is Kenny Ridley. He's a South Central Oklahoma head coach of 20 years or whatever.
Yeah.
He was my defensive coordinator. This man will lie to you about your 40 time to make you run faster. You know what I mean? If a kid thinks he's a 4.8 kid, he might accidentally run like a 4.8 kid on the field. You know, he ain't breaking 5, but you know what I mean? So, like, sometimes
you got to get him to believe the lie.
You fib to him a little bit because they'll play up to that fib. You know what I mean? So, am I going to tell him he ain't Travis Hunter? No. Am I going to put him when the game's on the line? Also, no. You know, like, you look really tired, Coach. I'm fine. No, you absolutely look exhausted.
That's not funny. That's not funny, DM.
It is absolutely looking tired. Why don't you come sit with me? Not you. But the funny thing is, that's what you said earlier, right? I'm gonna find out what your strong suit is, and depending upon what your strong suit is, you out there. You a defensive end. You got great pass rush. Your get off is crazy. You know what? We got a team. It's 3rd and long. He's my pin his ears back guy. Go. 1st and 10, wing the offense. Hey, guy, I don't think this is for you. You're going to come with me. We're going to work on something else. If I get him to 3rd and 15, I got you. If I don't get him to 3rd and 15, you're going to hang out with me. Just make sure you're watching the game. Stay involved.
15 and wow.
Hey, listen, because in some of them Delaware wing tees, bro, unless it's 3rd and 10, man, it's still coming. It's still coming. Sally at 7's coming. Power sweeps coming. Guard traps coming. It's coming, bro. They ain't changing much.
Gents, it's 10 p.m. My family's calling. I got to go. Love you all. Thank you so much for having me back.
No doubt, Dan. Good looking.
Oh, yeah. Y'all are on the East Coast time.
Yeah, he's 1 hour behind us, man.
Yeah, I keep forgetting.
That's good. That's good. Thanks so much for having me again. See you out 2 weeks. Right?
Dan, I made it to the show. Oh my God.
You made it to the show. If y'all are in Boston, around Boston next weekend, come see me. This weekend.
I'm in Boston this weekend. I'm going to Boston College for spring break.
Friday, Saturday, Gun Tea clinic. I'm speaking Saturday at like 9 a.m. Malden High School.
You got a flyer?
DM me or something. DM. We'll set it up. We'll get you in. And then I'm going to the Red Sox game both Friday and Saturday. And then next weekend I'll be in Milwaukee. Don't, Brandon, shush that. What is that? Maybe let's go.
That was pretty bad.
I'm the inventor of the hashtag Beards of Boom, which then they don't have any beards anymore. Now the Yankees are trying to get beards. Weirdos.
Yes, sir. 3 home runs straight like that.
God, y'all are strange. What's up with that bat? Anyway, Milwaukee the next weekend. Come see me, guys, if you're listening. Thank you all so much. We'll talk to y'all very soon.
No doubt, Dan. Appreciate you.
Later, gents.
All right, boss.
What you got on deck? You know, I'm sorry I got to the show late. Technical difficulties, you know what I'm saying? Brandon, it's okay. I just flipping my lid because I don't like things to go left, you know, when you clear your schedule for this. You know what I'm saying?
Or for our JUCO. You know, this is like Norfolk State Community College. Because it's like, when I say that, not because of the people or things like that, but it's just the way it is. JUCO coaches, I have so much more respect for them these days because they have to get a new team every year or every 2 years or something like that, right? You know, now we got to get a new team every year, every 2. So we basically a glorified JUCO because these kids, you know, until mid-majors, and not just Norfolk State, until mid-majors get the money that high majors have, we're never going to be able to keep kids here, you know, for a long time. I say it's easy to get them, it's harder to retain them. You know, you can get them because there's a lot of kids that want opportunities. A lot of kids want opportunities, but once they get the opportunity and then they blow up, it's harder to retain them because now the big boys are going to come.
She good, knock it out the park.
It's just as simple as that. He hit it right on the head. You know, people use this portal and things of that nature as a tool to re-recruit themselves. You know, they didn't get the Bamas or the Rutgers or whatever they got the Norfolk State. So I'm gonna use this opportunity to up my stock and that sort of thing and move on. So he hit it right on the head, because they don't have the collectives that these bigger programs have. So especially now, everything is a business, and it's a business on both sides. It's not just a business from the coach's standpoint, because they move around just as much. They move from Norfolk State and they have a great year. Next thing you know, they're at Auburn coaching, to say at the basketball team in Auburn. So coaches do the same thing. So now it's a business mind from a player's perspective too, where I'm going to re-recruit myself to get the most of what I can get from the higher level schools.
Yeah.
So
That's
can I
why.
ask you something? Because we always sit here and we say how JUCO helps the kids.
We have not always said that. We have not always said that. Go ahead, as you were.
How does JUCO help these other coaches? Because it's a win-win as far as training. I'm sorry, not training. Experience and giving I keep saying players, these are adults, giving people I want to say multiple opportunities, but that's not the word I'm looking for.
So look, let's stay on the question. The question you was asking was like, how does it help the college coach to get the JUCO kid? That's what you were saying?
Something like that.
Well, it helps the college coach because now he doesn't have a kid that's the first time away from home. He doesn't have the kid that doesn't understand what it's like to get up at 5 a.m. for practice and have a 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock class. A kid that knows how to, I put quote unquote, knows how to deal with a syllabus and only having 2 to 3 classes a week. So for a college coach, I get a guy that's used to being in college. That's the benefit. You know what I mean? The other benefit for that college is he don't really got that much time left. Well, I mean, nowadays they're saying that they kind of go 2 years, no problem. I think we're going to readdress that. But at this stage, it's like, if I get that kid, let's go prior to this stage. If I get that kid out of JUCO, well, he only got 2 years to make it happen. So he's not going to come in here trying to BS and waste time. He will come in here and try to come out, knock some heads off. He has no friends here. He's here business only, and he's going to do what he got to do, So those JUCO kids that do come out of JUCO and then go up, you tend to see them go crazy because they're about their business. Whereas you might have the high school kid that might get to the big level and just so satisfied that he's at the big level, like we talked about with the whole not working out, with the whole not trying to take it serious anymore because I signed and everything is about what I did the past high school football season, whatever the case may be. So for those guys, they get the reality check because now they get to you in June, July, and they're kind of like on La La Land because they haven't been working out. They haven't been doing any type of physical activities, anything. Some of them are probably 7-on-7 where they're doing head top dances and nonsense like that. And so you got a kid still stays with his mother. His mother wakes him up for school. Sometimes he goes to class, he don't, because he's that guy that's the Penn State offer, that's the, I don't know, pick another school out the sky, whatever offer. So that kid is going to need to adjust. So for the college coach, he like, I ain't got time. Like we talked about earlier, I don't have time to lose a major donor for a kid who think that this is a fairy tale. This ain't no fairy tale. I'll go get a kid out of JUCO who thought it was a nightmare and want to turn it into a fairy tale.
I get that. I definitely get that.
And she coached on the JUCO level. He can tell you exactly what it's like.
I thought no.
What? Like I said, listen, I've had kids who I've known that was at the JUCO level. Okay, I've seen some kids that went from JUCO to nothing. I've seen some kids that's gone from JUCO to playing ball, having a great career, and then just being a great man. And then I've had some kids that I've known, or maybe I can't say some kids. I've had a kid who had went to JUCO, left the JUCO, went to the next level, and hit a whole grand slam on getting to the NFL. So it's many different avenues for a kid once he enters that world. The part where I feel like determines the most is how hungry he is and how much support he has. That's the difference in the JUCO world, okay?
Yeah,
and that's honestly
absolutely
the difference in college, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Because even going mid-major, even going high level, type of work ethic he has, the type of support that he has will determine everything about whether he's going up or going to go down.
Yeah, that support system is huge, especially the JUCO back then. I don't know how it's going to be now, but back then, that support system is huge because you got to make them ramen noodles last a couple more days.
Woo!
So can you break down the support system, as in like financial, as in somebody being there for you, as somebody to talk to, as you know what I mean, things you need, as
It's all of the
above.
Yes, it's all of the above. You know, and you know, you need to have somebody that's going to help you with the meals. You need somebody that's going to help throw you $20, $5 here and there. You know, so you're going to need all that, even from your teammates. Yeah, even from your teammates. You know, some teammates are a little bit well off than others. You're going to have that support system from your teammates. Like, yo, I ain't got it, but here's $20, whatever, make that last, however it go. I ain't got no toiletries. Hey, you my roommate. I'm in a room with 5 other guys. Hey, y'all take care of the toiletries. I got the food for the week. Hey, you get the microwave. Hey, I got, you know, so even that support system from your teammates is crucial. Because some JUCOs, you in a room, you're in a little room, it's 4 or 5 of y'all that you ain't never met before. So it get real in that JUCO world. Absolutely.
It get real.
And you in the middle of nowhere. Some of these JUCOs, you are in the middle of nowhere. And the McDonald's is miles away, and it's only one of them. He said,
DoorDash don't make it a little easier now.
Say what?
DoorDash and all that, like all the delivery services now, like so. Let's say you can call Uncle Tommy.
You need the money for that.
So you call Uncle Tommy and say, "Hey man, we short on this, that, and third." They can get you the order dropped off to your house.
All right, so for convenience, yeah, but you got to have an Uncle Tommy.
And you got to, and that Uncle Tommy's gonna have to do that every time you hungry, rather than just sending you that $100 to go grocery shopping. That'll have to last you for a week and a half. You spending $30, $40 per Uber, like that's going to add up anyway. So that person is going to get tired of, even if it's a close family member, he going to get tired of sending you Uber every time you hungry. Oh, I ain't got it today, or you know, whatever the case may be. They just going to get tired. So that support system is humongous.
Yeah, like even with you hear us saying support system, it's hard to be the support system, and let's stay in the JUCO world for now and be away from them. You got to go out there. You got to get to the room, see how they live, and so you can understand it. Because he might be talking to you like, yo, it's crazy, man. 5 of us in here, yo, it's crazy. And you're just listening like, there's 5 in here too. But you got a house. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't register right. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be some stories, like I said, a nightmare trying to turn into a dream. Some of these guys really be in a nightmare. Like she said, yo, that ramen noodles gotta last, dog. So
he used to have a kid. He used to go out the dumpster sometime, get the little leftover chicken wings, whatever.
Whatever's clever. Because at the end of the day, I'm about to go in. But
because then your pride kick in to where you don't want to keep asking.
Yeah.
You don't want to keep asking like
I know Coach Don got me, but I'm not going to just keep calling Coach Don about
this. Yo, man, if I got a slice of bread, you ain't gonna want to keep doing that. So your pride and your ego gonna stop you from asking. And then now you out there trying to fend for yourself on an empty stomach and gotta go 1,000 miles an hour in practice.
Yeah.
It's a different level of hunger at the JUCO level back then. I don't know how it's gonna be now because
Right.
the NCAA is really involved in it now with the
Mm-hmm.
the money and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But back then it was rough.
But now,
I remember.
June. Now let's talk about the levels above that. Let's talk about Division 2, right? Let's talk about Division 3. These are levels where guys ain't getting money like that either.
Mm-hmm. The only
So
thing they banking on is their goddamn lunch card, and they got to make
right,
that last.
right. So he got
The
a
little
meal
calf
plan.
card. The little
So
calf card. Yeah.
So that's why I'm not gonna lie, with even them, they need a strong support system. But I also try to say they got to make the right decisions too. Don't pick the D2 school that's like, and you live in Jersey and the joint is all the way in like New Mexico, dog. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Like, you put
Right.
yourself at a disadvantage. Like, you heard me talk about town teams and staying together with a town and people appreciating you, people knowing who you are. So think about it. Let's say you go to West Orange High School, right? And then you say, you know what? It's over for me in high school. I'm going to end up going, I'm going to pick Montclair State. So, Brandon, Montclair State is literally about, what, one town over from West Orange. You can stay on campus, do your thing, and when things get hard, that Uber Eat you talking about, man, it's Uber back home. You got to be smart about your decision. See, sometimes I try to get kids to go where the money takes you, right? Go where the money takes you. And then hopefully that's a close situation because obviously at this point you're not going to the NFL. So that's what you heard me saying with Dan. Let's focus on the major. Let's focus on the major. And let's try to still use that money because they're going to probably give you football money to go to that school. So let's still focus on being good at football. Let's make sure we really focus on the major. And then being close to home, so now I can help you. At the building that you was at, I got one kid from Fairleigh Dickinson. I think 2 kids from Fairleigh Dickinson that work in there.
Mm-hmm.
1 kid or 2 kids from William Patterson and 3 kids from Montclair State because it's close.
Right.
So you get to go out, you get to train a little bit if you're with me, right? You get to make a little bit of bank, and you still get to go to school, and it all wins. Like it still works if you're close. But if you pick the school in where Dan is, and I'm up here, I can't keep telling Dan to go call and check on you. Like, no, you on your own, big dog. So that's just something that I feel like parents got to do when it comes to evaluating what school you want to go to. You know what I'm saying? What school you getting accepted to at the end of the day. And then now let's get to the last part, and let's talk about our Division I athletes. It's even scarier for them because, like I said, they're getting paid. So now they're getting paid. They think they have arrived, and guess what happens with that paycheck? And you don't cut it out. You got to go. So now you got to go. You got to take a little bit of money you got. You got to figure this thing out all over again. So you probably weren't starving, but now you're about to starve. So the support system is important at every level. Everyone.
I definitely understand. I didn't know it was that. So I knew what I do know. Kids can't work with so much. They can only get but so much help. They are stuck there. I understand about the schedule. I understand about the kids needing certain things, but I always figured that there was something in place. Hey, I'm struggling right now. Let me call Coach DM. He can help me out. You know what I mean? But how much can you help them as a I want to say as a coach in the school? How much can you do?
It's the networking part too, though. Like when you go to the school, talk to people. Network with people. You shouldn't have to call DM because you know why? There's gonna come a time, it should eventually come a time where you and Mr. DM, we don't talk like we used to talk. It's supposed to happen in life. But if you are at the school, you start networking with people, you start trying to tap into those resources that the schools do have. Like she said, kind of put your pride to the side and, kind of just tap into certain things. you might be okay. Like you said, I can't work that much, but there's a space in your schedule for something. Just gotta kind of dug it out.
But then again, you're choosing the money over the school, depending on how each kid look at it. Because let's say you got 2 hours and you go do DoorDash or whatever for 2 hours. Let's say that you get the electric bike, because I've been seeing people now electric bikes doing DoorDash locally. You know what I mean? Around the school, a lot for 2 hours. Cool. Now that 2 hours turned into 6 hours, so that now you taking time away from your studying or other things you're supposed to be doing.
But you shouldn't. You understand why you're there, right? So you're just trying to use your 2 hours wisely to bank it. You can't, like, you're going to school. If that's your decision to go to college, then you're going to college. And then you're playing ball too, so then that's your decision. So if they got a 5 o'clock workout, if you got 3 classes and they start at 10 and your day ends at like 1, and then you might have a practice in the back end of it too, well then now you got to just figure out, okay, well, what are we doing? I know I got a couple of hours here, I know I got an hour there, I know I got to study, I know I got to shower, I know I got to eat. Like, no one's going to hold your hand through this shit.
Do you have to shower?
You got to figure it out.
Do you have to shower?
Hey, man.
That's on you. That's on you.
You know what I'm saying? You thug it how you want to thug it, man. But I'm just saying, it's just one of them things where time management, and that's actually something we probably want to talk about on one of our episodes. Time management is very
Hey, She, check your phone, She.
Time management is very, very, very crucial on the next level, because that's the level, like that's what's gonna happen from now. So I mean, I would even start it as a high school. Time management from now until the rest of your life, man. You know what I'm saying? Time management is very, very, very key. And if you got yourself together with your time and managing your time, you know, you should end up okay. They said you're not going to be the best. Take a long time to be the best, but you'll be okay. You'll manage well. Get you a planner. Use your phone. Use your notes on your phone if you have an iPhone, whatever. Like, put it in your calendar. Like, just trying to stay on top of it. Trying to stay on top of it. Time management, man. He who manages their time the best ends up in a better position.
So you know what I'm gonna say next, but are we gonna talk about it off air?
You ain't gonna have much time off air because I'm extending this right now. Seem like so. You better talk about it now.
No. We ain't gonna talk about it now. But I mean, yeah, you know. So I mean, whenever you're ready, sir, I'm good. I'm ready. I know. I just drove back from Chicom, so whenever you ready. You know what I mean?
Nah, listen.
Unless we got hold on.
Yo, he clearly ain't ready yet because he ain't do it.
Hey, that boy terrible, boy.
Yo, he trying you. He trying you. Now listen.
I was just saying, I mean,
AB, honestly, I can bait him in. I can bait him right in right now. But because I got respect for that guy right there, I'm not going to bait him in. I'm going to let him do what he want to do when he ready to do it. You feel me?
Listen, man, I'm no longer at DePaul Catholic, man. If that's as far as I'm gonna go with it right now. I am no longer at DePaul Catholic. I've been let go. So that's as far as the extent of that. Just stay tuned. You'll know when it's time to know. But other than that, that's the extent of the announcement.
They got enough rings already, so to say the hell with you, that's crazy.
No, that's why I said it at 210. The show is over. I know. It's already 2 hours in. Good night.
Hey, yo, you motherfucking shit.
The executive producer has spoken.
Oh, man.
You already know. Listen, again, everybody, let me do this real quick. You know, I apologize for how this show might have started. Obviously, we had some rough moments, you know, and if you're not a can I call it a computer savvy person, you'll put you in a really bad space here. So, but I believe that we still delivered an amazing show with some amazing information. Please rewatch the show, share the show, like, subscribe, Sand Sports Multimedia, Driven Minds on YouTube. It's some really good stuff, really good clips on there. Subscribe to DM Football 258. It's a lot of good stuff going on there. We have a training session at Center Court on this Wednesday from 7:30 to 9:30. All positions are being trained, so get in tune with that movement. We also got the college tour that's booming. Again, this is something, I'm speaking it out now. We're probably going to just chop it up and give it out to everybody later on. But the college tour is going to be in June. Big things coming up. Just make sure you stay tuned in the DM. You already know. And it seems like the Coach's Corner is turned to the Coach's Retiree Club. But, hey, it is what it is, man. Happy to have Sheed along. You know what I'm saying?
Shots fired.
Happy to have Dan in the building back. It's good to see you. Happy to have Brandon back in the building. I guess I should publicly apologize to Brandon because I was fuming earlier and that cat wasn't giving me what I was trying to get done on this network.
Sir, listen,
So,
sir.
it
I
is
was
what it is.
trying to help you, sir, as best as I could under pressure. I didn't. It's my first time, you know what I mean, experiencing.
Next time we got to meet like an hour before.
An hour?
We was on a half hour before and we didn't get it.
Yeah, you're right.
So we'll again, ladies and gentlemen, we will make sure that we keep delivering one of the best podcasts, I believe, on Sand Sports Multimedia, and we'll definitely keep delivering some of the best knowledge that will help you, your family, get to the next level or next levels that you deserve to be on in that case, right? But all I can say again is thank you for bearing with us here. We're a work in progress. We are not there yet. Soon we might be nightcap, but we ain't nightcap right now. We're just having a nightcap. So make sure everybody just continue to be great this week. Don't put no steps backwards. Every step goes forward. Be better today than what you were yesterday and put it on repeat tomorrow. It's something that you're going to definitely need to do. And stay driven because, that's what I always say, y'all. Stay driven to the greatness that's built up inside of you because you will be great as long as you put yourself in the right positions. You already know. B, go ahead. You can do what you